I'm Russ. Hopefully Tracy on the other side explained to you that it's coming in about 1.5 to 2.0% sugar. It runs to the RO, gets you to about 18%. At that 18%, it gets sent up as into the concentrate tank. You can see how much sap or concentrate is in that tank based on this sight glass here. That zip tie is at the bottom of the tank, so we've got about 2.5 feet of concentrate upstairs. That's a 600-gallon tank upstairs. Once it's in there, it comes down to a float box around the other side, which comes into the flue pan. The flue pan, we're trying to maintain about 2 inches of concentrate in there for when it's boiling. This flue pan has 3 sections, so the concentrate will run all the way up to the front, back down the middle, and then up this section up to the front pan. Before it does that, before it drops in, there's a preheater on here that preheats the concentrate through these copper pipes. The steam going around them that goes back and forth. So the steam around that preheats it up to about 200 degrees. A byproduct of that is the steam collecting around that cold concentrate will create condensation on there and drip onto a bottom pan there and run out into this tank. So it gives us some nice clear wash water that we use for washing up, washing the filter press. Even we'll dip our hands in there to wash them, but it is very hot. So we came into the back there at about 18%. By the time we get up to the front here, we're at about 40%. We're shooting for 69% sugar in that. These front pans are considered a cross flow pan. So again, we have a float box here to maintain 2 inches in the front pans. Cross flow pan means it comes in here, runs all the way up this bay, comes back around this corner, up front, back around into here. This is a auto-modulating valve, so for our target temperature right now is 219.9. So for every 1/10 of a degree above that temperature, this valve will open 10%. We're still going to check with our hydrometer. The hydrometer checks the density of the syrup. We have a cold line for when the syrup is cold, or a hot line that tells us that we're at syrup. So if we balance, put that right in there, we'll see right now that by that hot line we're it's floating above it, which means that this syrup is actually a little too dense. So we've got about 1 point above our goal. That's easy to correct. We'll usually slide this tank over, add a little thinner sap to it, thin it down, blend it, check it again. Once we have it right where we want it, we'll mix it with diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth is ancient algae that has settled in layers of old seabeds. Those algae have a silica shell around them, which creates a kind of a porous filter thing. They get all blended together. They'll filter out very fine microns of impurities. This syrup is actually just fine to have. You can put it on your pancakes, but it's cloudy. And marketing people long ago decided that they wanted clear syrup was better. Once that slurry is made up, it gets pumped around to this filter press. These papers in this filter press, their only job is to hold back the diatomaceous earth. Like I said, it'll build up in layers of diatomaceous earth, creating a very fine filtering medium. It gets pumped through there into these 55-gallon drums. We also fill 40-gallon drums, which gets sold to a bulk producer. We do can some of our own, which gets sent to the canner there. Every drum is sampled. We take a sample jar and also taste it. The way we check to see what it grades at, there's a Golden Delicate, which is the lightest, Amber Rich, and Dark Robust. The sample has to be as light or lighter to be considered that thing. So Amber Rich, if we compare these two, our sample is darker than the Amber Rich, so it cannot be Amber Rich, but it is lighter than the Dark Robust. So this sample here would be considered Dark Robust. The way we do that now, for the most part, is through a light meter. This light meter first every time gets a reference shot of light through a clear liquid. and then we stick the sample in, and it shoots light through that and measures how much light is able to transfer from one side to the other. Anything 75% above is golden delicate, 50 to 74.9 is amber rich, 25 to 50 is dark robust, and anything darker than that is very dark. It's called very dark strong taste, more commercial type syrup. That's the big part of that. Any questions?
No, it's not my first rodeo.
Yeah.
Let's see, I can try.